the power of not reacting, and 12 habits to control your emotions. Now, let's begin. Do you know someone who gets angry, anxious, or upset over the smallest things? A surprising number of people have trouble restraining their emotions, especially during periods of stress and uncertainty. When something doesn't go their way, they get overwhelmed by extreme feelings like rage or distress, transforming even the most minor conflicts into damaging and embarrassing situations. For example, let's say you're debating with someone about a subject that you both care about, like sports or politics. All you want to do is make your points, but the other person seems to be getting angrier and angrier. Perhaps they raise their voice or make derogatory comments about you or your beliefs. What starts as a friendly debate escalates into swearing, name-calling, and personal criticisms. Why? Well, because not everyone knows how to control their emotions. When they hear something they don't like, many people react impulsively like a wave of frustration and volatility is just crashing onto their heads. These people may be prone to feelings of defensiveness as if any opposition is an insult to their character. They might become angry that people aren't validating their ideas or because they're struggling to communicate exactly what they mean. Now, once these emotions start swirling in their heads, they're likely to make bad decisions. They may become desperate to get their way, damaging their relationships and hurting the people that they care about. Only after the dust settles do they realize the damage they've done. If you find yourself in a similar situation where your emotions are tested, how can you prevent your emotions from spiraling out of control? In this video, we're going to discuss 12 powerful habits anyone can use to master what's known as non-reacting. The basic idea is simple. By recognizing extreme emotions and delaying impulsive reactions, you can make good decisions when it matters most, and these habits will help you do just that. Many of these tricks and techniques are employed by highly disciplined people every single day. Like exercising physical muscles, it takes time and consistent effort to build real emotional discipline. But with these everyday habits, you'll learn to control your emotions and navigate any situation with patience and composure. Number 1. Chemical countdown. When you experience an emotional conflict, chemicals rush into your brain that motivate extreme reactions and impulsive behaviors. If you want to control your emotions, you need to wait for that rush of chemicals to disappear before taking action. One simple trick is to close your eyes and count to 5. During those 5 seconds, the chemicals in your brain will slow down enough to see your situation clearly. Yeah, I know it sounds simple, but those 5 seconds can spare you from years of impulsiveness and regret. Number 2. Find your roots. When you feel strong emotions bubbling up inside you, try searching for the root of the problem. In other words, ask yourself why you might be feeling the way you're feeling. If you're impulsively angry about something someone said, ask yourself why their comment triggered such a strong emotional reaction. This habit immediately changes your perspective, forcing you to step back and analyze your emotions from the outside. This instantly puts you in a position of emotional control, and it reveals what's really causing your distress. Often the source of a feeling isn't what it appears. Once you find it, you can face the actual problem without doing damage to yourself or others. Number 3. Sources of resentment. Many of us have a bad habit of stewing on feelings of anger or resentment. All right, let's say you have an argument with a friend. You both walk away feeling hurt and irritated, but instead of expressing those feelings and finding a solution, you allow your anger inside you to simmer and to grow. Over time, you may even lose track of why you were angry in the first place. The longer you wait to resolve these feelings, the harder it becomes to make those emotions go away. This is true of many negative emotions like sadness or embarrassment. Ignoring these feelings can create lasting emotional turmoil, so speak up and resolve your feelings before it's too late. Number 4. Name your emotions. We often struggle to control our emotions because we don't really know what we're feeling. All we recognize is a swirling cloud of thoughts and feelings. Our emotions become muddled and frustrating, so we seek immediate relief instead of understanding what's going wrong. In situations like this, try naming your emotions. As soon as you feel something bubbling up inside you, ask yourself, what exactly am I feeling? Am I angry or sad? Impatient or embarrassed? Once you put a name to your emotions, they become smaller, simpler, and easier to understand. Number 5. Manage your stress. Stress has a significant effect on your emotional state. When you're stressed, your patience and discipline wear thin. It feels like the world is crashing down all around you, and minor things may trigger extreme emotional outbursts and irrational decisions. Any kind of stress can impact your emotional state, so make a habit of relieving some stress every day. There are plenty of stress-relieving activities out there like writing, meditation, and exercise. Any of these habits, if practiced regularly, may lower your stress levels, making it much easier to process and control your emotions. Number 6. Opportunities for expression. Many people lose control of their emotions because they don't allow themselves to express how they really feel. Men especially stuff their feelings down and pretend everything's fine until the day their emotions suddenly explode outward. This is when extreme emotions do the most damage to you and the people in your life. For your own sake, don't let your emotions fester in the back of your mind. Instead, create opportunities to express your emotions on a regular basis. Write in a journal, talk with a loved one, or sit down with a mental health professional. Make self-expression a normal part of your routine, and you'll begin to understand yourself a whole lot better. Number 7. Channel your feelings. Talking or writing aren't the only way to express emotions. You can also channel those feelings into activities like physical sports or creative hobbies. These activities occupy your mind and channel your energy in a way that brings calm and clarity. For example, if you're caught up in a stressful situation, you might try singing at the top of your lungs. There are dozens of activities like singing that release your feelings and change your state of mind. Find one that suits your interests, and that way you can channel your emotions into something constructive. Number 8. The empathy routine. When you're angry at someone, try thinking about your situation from their point of view. You may feel like you've been wronged, but it's possible the other person feels the same way. They might be in a challenging position, or like you, struggling to understand why they feel the way they feel. In either case, practicing empathy can neutralize extreme emotions and help the two of you find common ground. Even if you're not actively upset, this is a great habit for expanding your emotional intelligence. Practicing empathy challenges you to reflect on your feelings, question your assumptions, and approach every situation with a calm and collected state of mind. Number 9. Possess your emotions. Are you ashamed of your emotions? Too many people avoid responsibility for their genuine feelings because they're embarrassed or ashamed to feel them. If someone asks you how you're feeling, you might pretend everything's okay and you hide your emotions from the world. But this only deepens your emotional turmoil. When you're feeling overwhelmed, take responsibility for your emotions because there's nothing shameful about how you feel. Number 10. The boiling point. Even if you learn to control your emotions, you may be too upset to hold those emotions inside you. Some people call this the boiling point. It's the moment just before your feelings bubble up and explode. If you want to control your emotions, get to know your boiling point so that you never do or say something you regret. When you're almost over the edge, remove yourself from the situation and give yourself time to cool off. Number 11. Create your mantra. Sometimes when you're feeling strong emotions, it helps to remind yourself what you're working toward or what kind of person that you want to be. A simple mantra or a meaningful phrase can help you find perspective and rise above negative emotions like anger or frustration. These feelings might be strong in the moment, but when you think about what really matters, it's easier to maintain control. It may take some time to find a mantra that's unique and special to you. There are all kinds of mantras out there, but often the powerful mantras are the ones that you create for yourself. A few repetitions of this meaningful phrase can relieve stress, provide clarity, and remind you what's really important. Number 12. The power of breath. Many disciplined people have developed incredible patience and willpower using the simple power of their breath. You've probably heard about breathing exercises to relieve stress or anxiety, but why does breathing affect your emotional state? Well, the first half of your breath, the inhale, influences your sympathetic nervous system, which controls your fight or flight response. Stopping for a deep breath of air dissuades impulsive behavior in favor of more logical decisions. The second half, that's the exhale, comes from your parasympathetic nervous system, which affects your ability to relax and calm down. Simply exhaling a breath of air can pacify negative feelings, giving you a sense of calm and control. Whenever your emotions are spiraling out of control, take a deep breath in and out. This simple exercise may be all that you need to control your emotions and to change your state of mind.